This man was so rich, his generosity accidentally destroyed an economy. History remembers him as Mansa Musa. He wasn't just wealthy, he was richer than anyone before or after him, beyond numbers and imagination. In the 14th century, Africa was powerful, connected, and deeply involved in global trade. At the center of West Africa stood the Mali Empire, one of the richest and most influential empires in history. Inside royal palaces, power was carefully planned, protected, and passed only to those trained to rule. Mansa Musa grew up surrounded by responsibility, wealth, and expectation, preparing him for absolute leadership. Mali controlled critical trade routes across the Sahara, connecting Africa with Europe and the Middle East. Gold and salt flowed through these markets, and whoever controlled them controlled the medieval world's economy. Cities expanded, trade increased, and Mali rapidly became one of the most powerful states on earth. When Mansa Musa became king, he inherited unmatched authority and control over enormous natural resources. Beneath Mali's soil lay massive gold reserves, mined carefully by hand, long before modern technology. Gold was so common in Mali that people no longer saw it as something rare or special. Camel caravans transported gold across endless deserts, protected, organized, and powerful symbols of Mali's wealth. These journeys lasted for months, crossing dangerous lands that few civilizations could survive. Mansa Musa ruled openly, never hiding his wealth, confident in his power and authority. Compared to other kings of his era, his wealth made them appear almost insignificant. News of Mali reached Europe, where traders struggled to believe such stories were true. Soon, Mansa Musa appeared on world maps, drawn holding gold, a symbol of unmatched wealth. Despite his riches, Mansa Musa was deeply religious and chose to make the pilgrimage to Mecca. But this was no ordinary pilgrimage. It became the largest caravan the world had ever seen. Thousands of people traveled with it, stretching endlessly across the desert, creating a moving city of wealth. Camels carried sacks of gold, flowing through the sand like a river made of riches. When the caravan reached Cairo, the city froze in disbelief at what stood before them. Mansa Musa gave gold freely to the poor, scholars, and anyone who asked. Gold flooded Cairo's markets, and suddenly its value began to collapse. Prices dropped, merchants panicked, and the economy slowly lost its balance. For the first time, wealth itself became a problem, not a solution. Historians believe the economic damage lasted nearly 10 years after Mansa Musa left Cairo. Scholars across continents debated one question: who was this man with unimaginable wealth? Africa was no longer ignored. It was noticed, respected, and finally taken seriously. Even compared to modern billionaires, Mansa Musa still stands alone, completely unmatched. No calculation could truly measure his fortune. His wealth had no clear limit. After the pilgrimage, Mansa Musa returned home, forever changed by his journey. He focused his resources on Timbuktu, transforming it into a center of learning. Mosques rose from the earth, built with faith, purpose, and architectural brilliance. Libraries filled with manuscripts preserving science, law, and knowledge for generations. Students arrived from distant lands to study, learn, and share ideas. For Mansa Musa, knowledge mattered more than gold, and education was true power. In his final years, the king grew older, but his legacy grew stronger. When Mansa Musa died, the world lost a once-in-history ruler. The Mali Empire slowly weakened, but its golden age was never forgotten. Ancient manuscripts preserved his story, written in ink, memory, and history. One title never changed: the richest man who ever lived. His life proved a simple truth: wealth fades, but knowledge lasts forever. Mansa Musa, a king, a legend, history's greatest fortune.